Hey, movie fans. So I saw the Odyssey at the theaters last night. This was one of my most anticipated films of the year. I'm a big Christopher Nolan fan, and I had a lot of hype going into this movie. I thought the Odyssey was fantastic. One of the best movies of the year, one of my favorite movies of the year personally. Now, let me talk about some of the controversial stuff and get that out of the way first. When it comes to people complaining about the casting, I don't have a problem with the casting personally. I thought everybody was fantastic performance wise in this movie. I'm going to talk about that as one of the positives when it comes to one of the reasons why I love this movie. And then another controversial thing about the movie before it even came out was people complaining. Not all people. Let me make this clear. This is just some movie fans, not all movie fans. People complaining with the modern dialogue because you have Robert Pattinson's character saying "daddy" in one scene you see in the trailer. The modern dialogue didn't bother me personally. It never pulled me out. It never took me out of the movie. And I would say this: if that's gonna be the reason why you're automatically going to hate this movie before watching it, then don't see the movie. And I would also say this: watch the movie first to see if that actually is going to bother you about the movie. That's one of the things with movie fans sometimes. Not all movie fans. With some movie fans, where I'm just like, just see the movie first. If it bothers you after the movie, I totally get that. And like I said, if it's something where you're just gonna automatically hate the movie just based on that, then I would just say don't see the movie then. And then another controversial thing, and this has to do with people saying that they didn't hire any Greek actors. I didn't have a problem with that either. Like at the end of the day, for me, all I care about is howling talented actors and the best actor for the job. And I would also say this when it comes to that type of thing. Look at other movies based on like history movies. Look at Troy. Brad Pitt is in Greek. That didn't bother me in that movie. I don't think that movie is great. I enjoyed the movie Troy. I'm just using that as an example. Well, look at the Gladiator movie with Russell Crowe. I love that movie. That's not like completely 100% history accurate. And that's another thing with these like movies that like have history elements. I don't need these movies to be 100% accurate to that time period or like when it comes to how they talk. Like this to me is Christopher Nolan's version of the Odyssey. I know this is also based. There was an Odyssey book, so I know this is based on like a book when it comes to the story of the Odyssey. So when it comes to having no Greek actors in the movie, that didn't bother me personally. And then another controversial thing with this movie is people when it comes to casting choices. The two biggest was the actress who plays Helena Troy. She also plays the twin sister of the character in the movie. I thought she was fantastic in this movie. And I thought she was really beautiful. I know the character is described as most beautiful girl. The actress who they got to play Helena Troy, I think she's incredibly beautiful. And most importantly, I think she gives a great performance in this movie. And for people like if that's gonna bother you, the casting of Helena Troy, she's not in the movie that much the character. So I feel like if that's gonna be the thing that you're just gonna hate the movie based on that, I feel like that's kind of ridiculous when the character's not even in the movie that much. And then one of the other big casting choices that people were up in arms about was I think this is like funny to me because this casting choice wasn't even like true. You have Eleanor Pays in this movie playing a random soldier. It was rumored he was going to be playing Achilles, the character Brad Pitt plays in the Troy movie, which is and like his character is described as some great warrior in history. Eleanor Pays is not playing that character. That was never confirmed. It was rumored. Like I don't understand why people got all up in arms about a casting that was rumored and wasn't even officially confirmed. He is not playing that character. He is playing some other soldier. And I think he does a great job in this movie for the character he was cast as. He is not playing Achilles, the character Brad Pitt played in Troy. So I just want to like get that away, all this controversial stuff people will get up in arms about, where I feel like the Helena Troy character who's not in the movie that much. I feel like that's like ridiculous if you're gonna be if that's gonna be the thing that makes you hate the movie. And again, this is my thoughts on all that stuff. And people get upset over something that wasn't even true, casting wise. It's just ridiculous to me, even more ridiculous. And just for me personally, the modern dialogue just didn't bother me. To me, it never took me out of it. And also, I would also say like this is that you're talking about a movie with Cyclops and sirens in the movie and like gods in the movie. It's not like this movie is completely grounded. You have fantasy elements in this movie. So when you have like fantasy elements like that in a movie, I'm not expecting this to be like completely history accurate. It's not like Cyclops existed ever. Sirens aren't real either. So I just, that's just my thoughts on all the controversial side of this movie that I found to be kind of like, just like I just feel like sometimes people just like need to actually like see the movie first, and then if you're just gonna like if you're gonna like just not even like give a movie a shot, then just don't see the movie. So that's my thoughts on all the controversial stuff. I know I kind of went off on a side thing there. When it comes to the quality of the movie, number one, like I said, performance wise, everybody is great in this movie. Anna Hathaway gives a powerful performance and emotional performance where you really see how much she loves her husband, Matt Damon's character, Diaz, who you just like, you just, when you watch the scenes at the beginning of them, you just feel the chemistry between the two actors. You feel like this is a wife and husband that love each other. And that she only loves this guy, Matt Damon's character, her husband. Like you really feel it between those two characters in the movie when it came to the chemistry. And she does a great job playing this character that feels powerful yet emotional way where you just see how much she loves her husband. So I think Anna Hathaway is fantastic in this movie. Like I think I think she's a great actress, and she delivers another great performance in this movie. Matt Damon, I think he does a great job playing this guy who feels haunted by mistakes he made. And I love how like throughout this movie he's defining the guys that just want to just because he wants to get back home to his wife and kid, and you just really feel for his character. And the way it tells a story is a non-linear way. So it tells in a way where it's not in order, it does it in a great way where you know to flash him back and you just feel so invested in Matt Damon's character's journey of getting back home, and you feel so locked in that they just do it in a way where it's just so compelling. Like you just feel invested in his journey, and throughout the movie you just want him to get back home. And like the stuff he witnesses when it comes to losing like his men, and the stuff he sees, and how much like he sees during the war of Troy when they're in that statue of the horse. And the that story where they they give the Greeks the statue of horse, and like they're all on that horse to sneak in and basically bone down Troy. And they do a great job of, like, you see on his face when they're in there, the Greeks, Matt Damon's character, and his another soldier is burning everything down. You see the horrified look on his face of just everything burning down and the stuff they're doing. And this is a guy who, like, you can tell he regrets the stuff he's done. So I love that about his character, and he just at the same time comes off like this really honorable soldier at the same time while making mistakes, and seeing how he would sacrifice anything to get back home to his wife, who you just buy the love story and you really feel invested in his character. And I love how it's like you see him trying to regain his memory when he's with Eclipso on this island at a certain point. So the story just tells in a way where it's like they do a great job of telling you when he's like retelling this his journey of how he ends up on this island with Eclipso for 7 years. So how the story is told is done really well. The visuals I think are great in this movie. The accent I thought was great in this movie. There's nothing really negative I have with this movie. Like the only nitpick I can say is that there's like little moments with the editing where you can tell maybe a little bit of stuff was cut out. cut out of this movie. Not to a point where I felt like it took away the story or character or the emotional moments. It was just one of those where like little moments we'd be like, yeah, I can tell maybe this scene, this could have gone on just a little bit longer, but not in a way where I thought it was like a big negative or anything that bothered me. And I'll say that's more of a nitpick. Like I just felt so vested in the story and characters. Tom Holland, I thought was fantastic in this movie too. When it comes to this being the son of Matt Damon's character, where he never knew his father because he left when he was still like really young, and he does a great job playing this guy, this son who wants to who is so desperate to find out if his father is still out there, if he's still alive, and he really does a great job playing this honorable guy, this honorable kid who wants to step up to protect it, to protect his father's kingdom. So I think Tom Holland does a great job in this movie. He gets some really emotional performances with Matt Damon later on with his character, and also as a dog lover, there's this other great emotional moment in the movie where you see Matt Damon has this dog, and later on in the movie you see the dog is like waiting around for Matt Damon's character, his dog's master, to come home. And when Matt Damon's character finally gets back and he sees his dog laying out on the ground, and then they do a quick flashback of Matt Damon with the dog when the dog's a puppy. That moment definitely hit me as a dog lover. The fact the dog waited 7 years and just didn't want to pass away until his owner got back. I thought that was a really like emotional moment too, as a big dog lover. And just like I said, Matt Damon gives such an emotional performance in this movie where you really feel his pain and just how much he misses his wife and kid, how much he just wants to get back home, and just how much the mistakes he's made as as a person, and the things the mistakes that have haunted him when it comes to losing his men, and how much he cared about his men, and then how he kind of like at the same time was sacrificing his men just so he could get back home, like the hall, and just the like how much those mistakes haunted him. So I think Matt Damon does a great job of giving you all that with the character and just a lot of depth to the character. Robert Pattinson, I think he's great in this movie also. Like Robert Pattinson does a great job of playing the slimy villain where when he dies at the end, spoiler, you're just like, yeah, you wanted him to die. He does a great job of playing this guy that's just really evil, and you're just like, yeah, you want him to get killed at the end. So to me, he played a great villain. He was interesting, compelling at the same time. He was just one of those villains that you really hated in a good way. Where you're just like, yeah, you want him to get killed at that. Like you wanted Matt Damon's character to kill him. So Robert Pattinson does a great job playing the slimy villain that you really hate. John Bothroyd does a great job in this movie too. So like casting wise, I thought everybody just was like fantastic in this movie. And Zendaya, I think she does a great job in this movie too. I love that as Athea, this goddess who you see the pain of just in her eyes when you just see Matt Damon imagining her at certain points. And I love how it's like certain points that he's kind of imagining her and then she disappears. So I think she does a great job in this movie playing this goddess Athea where you really feel her pain. So overall, guess they do a fantastic job in this movie. Like for me, there's no weak performances in this movie. Everybody just nailed these characters. And I just felt mostly attached to all the characters in this movie. And also think this movie does a great job of blending the fantasy elements with the grounded elements. And that because it never feels like to me when you get to the fantasy stuff, it never feels like it takes me out of the movie. It feels like it goes over the top. It feels like everything just blends perfectly together when it came to it being grounded while at the same time having fantasy elements without being over the top. So it does a great job of blending those two things together. I also want to say this. I would love to see Christopher Nolan direct a horror movie after this. There's two moments in this movie that are some great horror moments. The cave scene with the Cyclops, one of my favorite horror moments in a movie. it does a great job just making you feel really like creeped out and scared from Matt Damon and his men in that scene. And I love the look of the Cyclops. Like the visual effects in this movie look fantastic. Like when it comes out of Cyclops looks in this movie, I love how it looks so real. Like it felt real. It looked like you could touch it. It was one of those things where it's just like when you watch that scene, it doesn't look fake or anything at all. It just looks real. Like you feel like it's really there. So I love the look of the Cyclops in this movie. So I thought that was a great horror moment. There's a moment later on in the movie where they went into a whisk, and she starts toning the men when they're eating the food and the pigs, and like she's tussing the skin and everything. And that moment I thought was another great horror moment. After this, I'm just like, yeah, I want to see Christopher Nolan direct like a full-on horror movie, because I know he hasn't done a horror movie yet, and this really showed me like, I would love to see him like just do a full-on horror movie after this. So to me, this movie was fantastic, one of the best movies of the year. And I would also this movie's really long. It's almost 3 hours. I didn't feel it one time at all in this movie. I was just so locked into the story and so invested in the journey of Matt Damon's character wanting to get back home, and so invested in the other characters that I never felt the one time in this movie. So to me, fantastic movie, one of the best movies of the year. I would highly recommend go see the Odyssey at the theaters. This is a movie that deserves to be seen on a big screen, in my opinion. So that's my thoughts on the Odyssey. Until next time, movie fans.